Hi there, people. We start right now. Winners and losers, Team EWC Esports World Cup. We are gonna make this interesting right now because this whole video will be spoken in English. So if you like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me. So editor, drop us the vignette. So, starting with the winners tab, I'm gonna put EVOS because it was definitely the most dominant team in the championship. EVOS played well in the group phase, in the point rush, and in the finals, and they really deserve to be champions of EWC. I wanna see now the whole dynamic of it because when you have a team that is so dominant over continents, they dominated Latin, they dominated the Brazilians, and they definitely dominated the Asians. I wanna see right now what their game will look like because when you play like this, you put on your shoulders some heavy weight and now they gotta perform well. And another thing to look, it's the momentum because for an example, Hazia was the MVP and for some, nowadays, he's the best sniper in the world. I disagree that he is the best right now because I think he got one championship, but I don't doubt he's in the top 3. That's for certain. And I want to see right now how his momentum will be. I'm very curious to see EVOS in FFWSC, and they definitely left as a winner. For the second one, we got Luz, and although they didn't win, it was magnificent to watch them play. Number 9 went back to his prime, and Luz was very aggressive when they needed to be, and they were super chilled when they needed as well. So they made a complete game. At the last one, he was alone, and maybe the story could be different, but they have to come back to Brazil knowing that now they are the strongest team, and they are the team to be beaten. Finally, what we always wanted to see in Luz, that is the ability to kill and intelligence, it's combined. Lipão brought this to their game. They play with a huge intelligence and they have the capacity to adapt themselves during the championship, what Fluxo, for example, didn't have. So they definitely leave as a winner. For the third winner, I'm gonna say somebody that had a huge role in this championship and it's not receiving the amount of credit that she should. I'm talking about Carol Bombshell. She was huge during all the competition. She interviewed, she translated, she was a caster, and one of her abilities that I admire so much is the ability to connect among the crowd. She can speak to fans, she could speak to players, to team principals, and it's very genuine of her part. You feel that she's being honest with her feelings. I really appreciate that we have a Brazilian doing it, and it definitely made us very proud of being Brazilian and having Carol Bombshell there. When you go to another continent and speak a language that it's not yours, and when you go to a place that you're not used to, you definitely have some weight on your shoulders. She made it very smooth. She was a smooth operator. Smooth. Yeah, she definitely left as a winner. And Carol, we are all very proud of you. Thank you so much for being there. And I hope to see you in all these huge competitions. I really hope to see you there. You definitely leave as a winner. For the fourth winner, I put on Team Vitality, and for those who follow me, I said it, it's not a surprise that Vitality would win the EWC. Of course, they didn't win, but 2 Buyas at the finals, they played very aggressively. They showed us that now Vitality will always be a contender for all the championship that they play in. The former Big Tron team, they showed us that they can perform cold breaks very well and they know how to play a long distance championship. I'm looking forward to see how it's gonna be the reintroduction of the team in FFWSC, and if I had to gamble for somebody, I would definitely gamble for Team Vitality to maybe surprise us, and I really expect them in FFWS World Series in the end of the year. So they definitely left as a winner. For number 6, I got Esqueci and Prox. And yes, when you are a reserve player, you got a lot of comments saying that you're not gonna play, that you're not good enough, and you're not gonna perform. And they show to the world that you were wrong. Esqueci and Prox show that they can play in teams that in theory were so connected. Fluxo and Los didn't hire them because their 4 players were not performing. No sir, they hired Esqueci and Prox because they felt like they could contribute contribute to their team, and indeed they did. When Esqueci got the chance, mostly in Kalahari, he showed us that he could play at the A level. And Prox, when was put in a real test in Nova Terra, showed why Prox was there. Those two guys that were underrated and so many people doubted them showed to the world why they are playing in two of the biggest teams on earth. So kudos to Esqueci and Prox. They definitely left as winners, okay? And for the last one on the winners tab, I'm gonna say Motoveia. Wow, watching him perform during all the EWC was amazing. He came back to his prime. And again, for those who follow me and saw some of my videos from the beginning of the year, I said it more than once that Motoveia was not playing as he should, and definitely not as he could. Bane started the year well. They came second in Copa Free Fire, tied with Fluxo. They lost because of the number of booyahs, but as the Brazilian Championship started, things kind of went bad. And Moto had his moments, but mainly this team that should be among the first and second and third places of the championship was not shining at all. There were some transmissions that you didn't hear the name of Bane at all, and that's concerning when you have a squad this big. So despite of my guess that they would not go to the finals, Moto showed me that I was wrong, and actually I'm very happy to be wrong. And Moto, congratulations, you played at your best. So Motoveia definitely left as a winner. Now with the tab that teams and players and organizations don't want to be in, but we have to say, because when we have winners, we definitely have losers. And for the first loser, we got definitely Fluxo. And I don't need to say so much because everybody was expecting so much of this Brazilian team. They are the current World Series champions, and they didn't perform well. They passed to the finals mere because of luck. Because when they had the chance to prove themselves during the first 2 days of competition, they didn't perform well. And yes, of course, as a Brazilian, I obviously rooted for them to pass to the finals, but it was very painful to see they tried to connect their game to the championship during the 4 days and being unsuccessful. So yeah, they definitely have to look back to their game and see what they can improve, because I don't think in Brazil they have the real challenge. My guess is when they come back to Brazil, they're gonna start performing well again, because we have a total different game from what EWC and maybe World Series will show them. Yeah, I don't have no doubts that they're gonna be in top 1 and top 2 of the Brazilian Championship, but they have to pay attention and they have to learn that when you go to other competitions, the international ones, now you don't have the Asians only for itself. You have Brazilian teams, you have Latin teams, you have a Pakistan team, Bangladesh teams. It's a so high level that you gotta perform not your A game, but your best game at all. And even when you do that, it's not for sure that you're gonna win the championship. But if you're gonna play exactly as you play in your country, it's for sure that you're not gonna go well. And that's what happened to Fluxo, and they definitely left as losers of this championship. For the second of the losers, we got Buriran, and as Fluxo, I don't even have to say so much because everybody saw them as losers. And now that their head coach has been fired, it's obviously that they feel like losers, and they should. And let me say something, the Cruz is a retired that is on the squad. I told everybody, because when Buriran hired the Cruz, we got a lot of Brazilians telling us, now Buriran is gonna dominate everything. They are the team to be beaten. Even that Fluxo was world champions, they said Buriran was the team to beat. And I told since the beginning, the Cruz was only marketing. And they proved to us, because they didn't put the Cruz one single game. The fact is that Buriran didn't find themselves during the championship, and the same thing happened to Fluxo, but they were an aggressive team. They used to be an aggressive team that dominated. Now they're carrying the stigma that they only play well in their group phase, and the stigma is very easy to get you in, but it's very difficult to get you out of it. So Buriran definitely left as losers. For the third loser, I'm gonna put Bane, and don't get me wrong, I'm very proud of Bane. I'm putting them on losers only because they fell short in 1 point. Yeah, that's it. If they got 1 point more, they could play for the Booyah during the last game on EWC. And I imagine it's way frustrating to not being able to fight for the championship, even that you win. So, for that reason only, they left as losers, but don't get me wrong, I'm so proud of Pain. And for the fourth loser, we got Onyx. And for Christ's sake, it's totally unacceptable for the FFWSC champions to not go to the finals. That cannot happen, and that exposed Onyx as the mediocre team that they are. They have nothing special, and I don't know how they were champions. They got only one booyah at the 9th game, and I'm not gonna even waste words on them. Yeah, they didn't play well, they didn't show us that they were the champions, and I didn't hear a single soul saying before the championship that they would be contenders for the title, and they weren't. So they definitely left the Esports World Cup as losers. And the fifth loser is definitely Kazoo. Now they have the stigma to be always near the championship and not being able to secure the title. As I said, I've put it on, when you got a stigma, it's way hard to get off it. And Kazoo is now known as a team that will get very close to the title but won't get it. I want to see now the whole dynamics of their reintroduction in FFWSC, because some players left very badly, crying and being very sad, and it's very hard to see that because obviously we don't want anything bad for the players in their life. Of course we're rooting for the Brazilians, but to see young guys like them to cry out, it's not a beautiful thing to see. They have something to work on, and it's a psychological process, so definitely Kazoo left as losers. And for the last team on the losers tab, I'm gonna put Virtus.pro, former Twisted Minds. And I'm gonna say something. I really thought that Virtus.pro was such a better team than Onyx, and even though they didn't win FFWSC, I thought they would come stronger to EWC. And they didn't. They definitely didn't. They had no brilliant moments, not once, and now they have to prove themselves all again because they left World Series as a team to watch, and during the first semester of FFWSC, they played well. Now they are a medium team that has a lot to prove and has a lot to improve to their game, because if they go bad in another championship, people are gonna start forgetting them, and this world is so brutal because you are as good as your last game, as your last championship. So Virtus.pro definitely left as losers. Guys, this was it. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to like it, subscribe and follow me. Thank you and goodbye.